As a brain doctor, I beg seniors stop eating this fruit after 6 p.m. Stroke and heart attack. You can't see it. You can't feel it. But right now, a chemical reaction could be happening inside your arteries, triggered by something you ate this morning, believing it was healthy. As a brain doctor, I can tell you the most dangerous risks aren't the obvious ones. They're the silent ones. They're the risks that come wrapped in a beautiful, healthy package, like a simple piece of fruit. The sugar, the potassium, the natural enzymes. In a body over 60, they behave differently. Today, we are turning on the lights and exposing the hidden dangers lurking in your fruit bowl. Let me be clear. After the age of 60, your body is operating under a new set of rules. Your kidneys, which filter your blood, don't clear potassium as efficiently. Your pancreas may not handle a sudden influx of sugar with the same precision. Your blood vessels have lost some of their youthful elasticity. When you add common senior medications, slower circulation, and the natural dehydration that occurs overnight into this equation, one simple fruit can transform from a source of nourishment into a silent threat. That is why today, on our channel Stroke and Heart Attack, I want to walk with you as if you were in my own consultation room through the 6 common fruits that may be doing more harm than good, specifically when, how, and in what quantity you eat them. Our goal isn't to create fear of food, it's to replace fear with knowledge. As we explore these surprising risks, I want to hear from you. Which of these fruits is a regular part of your diet? Let me know in the comments below. Your story is important. And be sure to stay with me because the last 2 fruits on our list interact dangerously with the most common medications prescribed to seniors, a fact that is tragically overlooked. Now, let's begin. Fruit number 1, the overripe banana, a potassium and sugar overload. Let's start with one of the most common and beloved fruits in the world, the banana. It's soft, it's sweet, it's convenient. We're told it's packed with heart-healthy potassium. And while that is true, for an older adult, the very things that make a banana appealing can also create a significant stroke risk, especially when it's overripe. Here is the crucial distinction. The ripeness of the banana changes its chemical composition dramatically. As a banana ripens, its complex carbohydrates, starches, break down into simple sugars, glucose and fructose. This is why an overripe speckled banana tastes so much sweeter. But this also means it has a very high glycemic index. When you eat it, that sugar is dumped into your bloodstream almost instantaneously. For a senior, this is a problem for 2 reasons. First, insulin sensitivity often decreases with age, meaning your body struggles to pull that sugar out of the blood effectively. A sudden sugar spike causes inflammation throughout your vascular system. Think of it like pouring sticky syrup into a delicate network of pipes. This inflammation can damage the fragile inner lining of the arteries leading to your brain, making them more susceptible to clot formation. Second, and just as important, is the potassium. A single banana contains a significant amount of potassium. In a young person with healthy kidneys, this is easily filtered. But aging kidneys are less efficient. If you consume a large amount of potassium in one sitting, say from 1 or 2 overripe bananas in a morning smoothie, your kidneys can't clear it fast enough. This can lead to a condition called hyperkalemia, or high potassium in the blood. Even mild hyperkalemia can disrupt the electrical signals that regulate your heartbeat, potentially causing dangerous arrhythmias. An irregular heartbeat is one of the leading causes of stroke, as it can allow blood to pool in the heart and form a clot that then travels to the brain. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 76-year-old retired librarian I consulted with. She was health conscious and started every day with a smoothie made with 2 very ripe bananas. She thought it was the perfect healthy start. One morning she felt profoundly dizzy after waking up, and her speech was slurred. She had suffered a mild ischemic stroke. Her blood work revealed two things. Her blood sugar had spiked, and her potassium levels were dangerously high. The combination of the sugar-induced inflammation and the potassium-induced heart rhythm disturbance had created the perfect storm. The brain-saving solution? This does not mean bananas are your enemy. It means you must be strategic. Choose greener bananas. Opt for bananas that are still firm and yellow, perhaps with a hint of green at the stem. They have more resistant starch and less sugar. Mind the portion. Stick to half a banana at a time, not one or two whole ones. Pair it wisely. Never eat a banana on an empty stomach. Always pair it with a source of protein or healthy fat, like a handful of walnuts, a spoonful of almond butter, or a piece of cheese. This slows down the sugar absorption significantly. Timing is key. Avoid eating bananas late at night when your metabolism and kidney function are at their slowest.
Fruit number 2. Grapes, the deceptive sugar bombs. Next, let's talk about grapes. They seem so light and harmless, don't they? Tiny, sweet, refreshing. It's easy to eat a large bowl of them without a second thought. But for someone over 60, grapes, especially the sweet, seedless varieties, can be one of the most deceptive fruits when it comes to managing stroke risk. The danger lies in their glycemic load. While a single grape is small, they are almost pure sugar in a tiny, easy-to-consume package. When you eat a handful, especially on an empty stomach, that rush of glucose and fructose hits your bloodstream with incredible speed. As we discussed, with age, our insulin response slows down. That sudden sugar spike doesn't just give you a quick burst of energy, it unleashes a cascade of inflammatory responses inside your delicate blood vessels. This chronic, low-grade inflammation is the root of atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries. Sugar molecules can also attach to proteins in the blood in a process called glycation, creating harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs make your artery walls stiff and brittle, and they promote the formation of clots. You won't feel this happening. It's a silent process. But day after day, that seemingly innocent bowl of grapes contributes to the slow, steady buildup of damage, until one day a small clot is all it takes to block a critical vessel in the brain. This is exactly what happened to Mrs. Evelyn Morris, a 79-year-old retired music teacher. She loved her mid-morning routine of reading with a large bowl of red grapes. She thought she was doing everything right. Then one day she noticed her hand trembling while writing a birthday card. A few minutes later, she couldn't remember how to spell the word congratulations. It was a TIA, a mini-stroke. Her blood sugar had spiked, and her lab work showed inflammatory markers she never knew she had. The brain-saving solution. You can still enjoy grapes, but they must be treated with respect, like a candy, not a health food to be eaten without limits. Portion control is everything. Limit yourself to a small handful, about 10 to 12 grapes, not a large bowl. The power of pairing. Just like with bananas, never eat grapes alone. Pair them with a handful of almonds, a few cubes of cheese, or some plain Greek yogurt to slow down that sugar rush. Avoid nighttime snacking. Never eat grapes before bed. Your body needs stable blood sugar and low inflammation while you sleep to repair itself, not a sugar spike that promotes damage. Does this information about sugar and inflammation surprise you? Many people only associate stroke with fat and cholesterol, but sugar is a major, often overlooked culprit. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And please stick with me. The next fruit on our list contains a natural enzyme that can have a shocking interaction with one of the most common medications for seniors.
Fruit number 3. Pineapple. The triple threat of enzyme, sugar, and acid. Let's move on to a tropical favorite, pineapple. That sweet, tangy bite feels like a vacation. But for older adults, especially those taking certain medications, pineapple can present a triple threat that significantly elevates stroke risk. Threat number 1, the bromelain effect. Pineapple contains a powerful enzyme called bromelain. In the wellness world, bromelain is often praised for its anti-inflammatory and digestive properties. However, what is often not mentioned is that bromelain has a significant impact on blood clotting.
It can inhibit platelet aggregation, which in plain terms means it can make your blood too thin. If you are one of the millions of seniors taking a prescribed blood thinner like warfarin or Coumadin, or even a daily aspirin for heart health, eating a large amount of pineapple can amplify the effect of your medication, potentially leading to an unsafe bleeding risk. This dramatically increases the danger of a hemorrhagic stroke, a brain bleed, which is often more devastating and harder to recover from than a clot-based stroke. Threat number 2. The sugar load. Like grapes and ripe bananas, pineapple is very high in sugar with a high glycemic index. Eating it, especially after dinner when your body is winding down, floods your bloodstream with sugar. This sugar circulates for hours while you sleep, causing inflammation and stress on your blood vessels at a time when your body should be in a state of rest and repair. Threat number 3. The acidity. Pineapple is one of a fruit's most acidic. For many older adults whose digestive systems can be more sensitive, this can silently trigger acid reflux at night, even if you don't feel a classic burning heartburn. This reflux can cause tiny, microscopic amounts of stomach acid to enter your airway while you sleep, aspiration, leading to inflammation and a drop in blood oxygen levels. This condition, known as nocturnal hypoxia, has been directly linked to an increased risk of early morning strokes. Let me share the story of Mrs. Clara Hughes, 77. To be healthy, she enjoyed a few slices of fresh pineapple after dinner each night instead of cake. One morning, she woke up dizzy and unable to walk straight. Scans confirmed a small stroke that had affected her balance and memory. Her doctors found a combination of factors. Her blood sugar was high, her blood clotting factors were off due to an interaction with her medication, and tests showed signs of oxygen drops during her sleep. The pineapple was the common denominator for all three issues. The brain-saving solution: enjoy pineapple in moderation and early. If you love pineapple, eat it in very small portions, a few chunks, not large slices, and always earlier in the day. Check with your doctor or pharmacist. If you are on any blood-thinning medication, you must ask your doctor if it is safe for you to eat pineapple. This is non-negotiable. Never eat pineapple before bed. To avoid the risks of both the sugar spike and the acid reflux, make it a rule to never eat pineapple within 3 to 4 hours of going to sleep.
Fruit number 4. Watermelon, the misleading hydrator. Watermelon is the quintessential summer fruit. It's light, juicy, and composed of over 90% water. Everyone thinks it's the perfect way to stay hydrated. But for older adults, particularly those on common medications, watermelon can be quietly and dangerously misleading. Here's the critical piece of information most people don't realize. Watermelon acts as a potent natural diuretic. It contains high levels of an amino acid called citrulline, which the body converts to arginine, a precursor to nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels, which is good, but it also increases blood flow to the kidneys, significantly boosting urine production. Now, consider the typical senior situation. Many are already taking prescribed diuretics or water pills for high blood pressure or heart failure. If you eat a large serving of watermelon in the evening, especially after taking your medication, you are creating a powerful, compounding diuretic effect. You could be setting yourself up for significant overnight dehydration. What happens then? As you lose fluid while you sleep, your blood volume drops and your blood becomes thicker and more viscous. This thickened blood dramatically increases the chance of a clot forming, especially in the narrow, aging arteries of the brain or heart. This is compounded by the fact that your blood pressure naturally dips to its lowest point during deep sleep. This combination of thick, sludgy blood and low blood flow pressure creates the absolute perfect conditions for a silent, ischemic stroke to occur while you are sleeping. Mr. Howard Lynn, 82, learned this the hard way. He would enjoy 2 large slices of watermelon after dinner to stay hydrated. One morning, he collapsed while trying to stand. At the hospital, his labs showed clear signs of dehydration and thickened blood, and a scan confirmed he'd had a small stroke. The watermelon, combined with his diuretic medication, had tipped the balance, dangerously lowering his fluid levels overnight. The brain-saving solution. Enjoy watermelon earlier in the day. Like other fruits, consume it in moderation and earlier in the day, not as a late-night snack. Be medication aware. If you are on any diuretic medication, you must talk to your doctor before making watermelon a regular habit. Watch for signs of dehydration. Be mindful of symptoms like dry mouth, morning dizziness, or feeling off balance when you wake up. Don't just dismiss them. They could be whispers from your body that your fluid balance isn't right.
Fruit number 5. Oranges and grapefruit, the medication saboteurs. A glass of orange juice with breakfast feels like a classic, healthy choice. But here is something most seniors were never told by their doctors. Oranges, and especially their potent cousin grapefruit, can quietly interfere with the most common medications you take, turning a safe dose into a dangerous one. The concern isn't just the sugar, although a glass of juice can spike your blood sugar rapidly. The real danger comes from a class of natural compounds called furanocoumarins. These compounds are found in high concentrations in grapefruit and, to a lesser extent, in Seville oranges, often used in marmalade, and other citrus. Furanocoumarins are potent inhibitors of a critical enzyme in your liver and intestines called cytochrome P453A4, or CYP3A4 for short. Think of CYP3A4 as your body's primary medication processing plant. It's responsible for breaking down and clearing nearly 50% of all prescription drugs. This includes many of the most common statins used to lower cholesterol, like Lipitor and Zocor. Calcium channel blockers used for high blood pressure, like Norvasc, and some anti-clotting drugs. When you consume grapefruit or its juice, these compounds essentially shut down the processing plant. The result is that your medication is not broken down and cleared from your body as it should be. It builds up in your bloodstream to potentially toxic levels. A blood pressure pill you've taken for years could suddenly become too strong, causing your blood pressure to crash and leading to falls or poor blood flow to the brain. A statin drug could build up, increasing the risk of muscle damage and other side effects. The stability of your entire medication regimen is thrown into chaos, dramatically increasing your overall stroke risk. The brain-saving solution? Avoid grapefruit completely. If you are on any statin, calcium channel blocker, or several other common heart medications, my professional advice is to avoid grapefruit and grapefruit juice entirely. The risk is simply not worth it. Be cautious with other citrus. While oranges have fewer of these compounds, it's wise to separate them from your medication time. Don't wash down your pills with orange juice. Always ask your pharmacist. Your pharmacist is your best ally here. When you pick up a prescription, ask them a simple question. Are there any food or drink interactions I should know about with this medication, specifically with grapefruit? This is critically important information. If you're on medication, please take this seriously. Now, if that made you rethink your morning routine, wait until you hear about our final fruit. It's a sweet tropical treat that carries a double danger of high sugar and the same medication interference.
Fruit number 6, mangoes, the sweet deceiver. Our final fruit is the mango. It's soft, juicy, and naturally sweet. It feels like a luxurious, healthy reward. But if you were over 60, especially if you are managing your blood sugar or taking medications, the mango might be doing more harm than good. First, the sugar. A ripe mango is one of the highest sugar fruits you can buy. A single cup of sliced mango contains nearly 23 grams of sugar. That sugar hits your bloodstream with force, creating that inflammatory response in your arteries that we've discussed. For anyone with prediabetes or diabetes, a condition that itself is a massive stroke risk factor, this kind of sugar load is particularly dangerous. But beyond the sugar, Mangoes contain a compound called mangoferin. While it can have some health benefits, it can also interfere with your liver's ability to process medications, particularly those that use that same cytochrome P450 enzyme system we just talked about with citrus fruits. So if you are taking certain heart or cholesterol medications, a daily mango habit could cause those drugs to build up in your system, leading to unexpected and dangerous side effects. Mr. William Booker, 83, a retired firefighter, decided to eat clean by replacing his evening cookies with dried mango slices. He was also on medication for atrial fibrillation. After a few weeks, he started waking up lightheaded. One morning, he collapsed. At the hospital, scans showed a mild stroke, and blood tests revealed that his medication levels were abnormally high, despite taking the correct dosage. The culprit was the concentrated mango, which had slowed his liver's ability to process the drugs. The brain-saving solution. Mango is a treat, not a staple. If you enjoy mango, think of it as a dessert. Eat only a few small bites, not a whole fruit. Avoid dried mango. Dried fruits are a highly concentrated source of sugar. It's best to avoid dried mango entirely. Pair it and time it. As with other high-sugar fruits, eat it earlier in the day and always pair it with protein or fat to slow sugar absorption. Doctor's consultation. And most importantly, if you're taking any prescriptions for heart, blood pressure, or cholesterol, talk to your doctor before making mango a regular part of your diet.
Conclusion. From fear to wise awareness. We've just gone through 6 surprising fruits: overripe bananas, grapes, pineapple, watermelon, citrus, and mangoes. You might be feeling a little unsure about what's truly safe, and that's completely okay, because recognizing these potential risks is the first, most powerful step toward protecting your brain and your future. This is not about creating a fear of fruit. Fruit is a wonderful part of a healthy diet. This is about fostering a new, wiser awareness. It's about understanding that as your body changes, your nutritional strategy must change with it. A food that was purely beneficial at 30 can become a risk at 70 when combined with medication or underlying health conditions. The key message is not avoidance, but wisdom. Smaller portions, eating fruit earlier in the day, pairing it intelligently with protein and fats, and most importantly, maintaining an open and honest dialogue with your doctor and pharmacist about how your diet interacts with your medications. Your brain, your heart, and your precious independence are worth protecting with this new level of mindfulness. If this video helped you rethink your choices, please show your support by giving it a like and sharing it with a friend who might benefit. And I truly want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these fruit risks surprised you the most?